Hi and welcome, Libra. My name is Elizabeth Bratcher, Psychic Medium, and I'm here to do a weekly read for you from the 2nd until the 8th of August. So thank you very much for joining me today. I do appreciate the time that you've taken to watch the video. So how I'm working, guys, is doing you a full spread from my own deck, the Elizacle, and then I'm going to pull you some tarot cards afterwards. So I'm just going to select 3 cards randomly from my deck, and then I'll follow with a full spread that's there behind. Guys, always appreciate a thumbs up. I do reply to all comments on the videos, and you will find me on Friday evenings at 8 p.m. doing a live feed full of free readings as well. That's live here and on Facebook. You'll find me on Facebook under Elizabeth Bratcher, Psychic Medium as well, which is full of reviews and all of those other little tidbits of information that people like to see. So Libra, let's have a look at your cards. All right, so you've got the... Okay, so I want to throw a little bit to you first, okay, Libra, straight up that's there. You've got the card around confronting fears, okay, and you've got the change of luck and the intention card that's there. I know some of you can't see them very well, but out of habit, I like to hold them up. And so what I want to say to you that's there is confronting fears. There's an opportunity in that when we sit with the truth of ourselves. A good way to do that is with journaling. Sometimes it's really apparent for people when we just see our behaviours and things like that based on fear, shyness, all of those kind of little bits and pieces that just break that down. And so you're really being encouraged to kind of look and see where that's sitting around for you at the moment, okay, because there's a change of luck. There's showing that the energies are going to shift for the better when you can push away a couple of those little fears that are sort of holding you back at the moment, and being really mindful about where your intention lays, because if your intentions are fear-based without even kind of realizing it, and so worrying about, you know, the negative impacts of what can happen, or worrying about what happens if you take a risk, or worrying about what other people are going to think, and worrying about if it's going to work, all that worry and all that negativity goes into the outcome, and that's kind of pretty much what you end up manifesting. And so, you know, you're just being really asked to pay attention to that this week, okay, and to really show yourself some trust and some love and some happiness, and just really kind of connect with yourself in fun, loving ways this week, okay? And you're going to see there's some improvements on self and situations. And so what they just ask those is just to have a little bit of patience, but understand that this energy has to come from within. It's not going to be something that's delivered to you. And when this energy does come about, expect some completions around, because as you grow in yourself, you're going to let things go that no longer serve, okay? And for some of you, this is going to be people and situations. Others, it's just going to be habits and things like that. Now, I don't want to bring all of that energy into this week, but it's giving me that story, okay? And so I want to share that with you and tell you why it's so important to move forward. There's an end of an era wanting to come through, and there's the cycles, and you've got the moving on card that's here as well, okay? So just a little bit of food for thought as we step into your reading this week, Libra, all right? Now, I do want to touch on love with you guys as well, okay? I do feel a love coming in and a strengthening around love as well, okay? So for those of you that have been waiting for relationships to come in, that's there. I'm feeling quite positive around that energy this week, but just understand again that if you come from a fear-based way and, you know, worry about everything and just kind of have that insecure mindset walking in, expect that to come back to you, okay? So just be really mindful around that. For those of you that are waiting for love to come in, have a think about what I talked about initially in this reading, because that very much applies to that energy of self, okay? So that is what I want to say with that. But I'm also feeling like a strengthening around with relationships too. I just feel good. I just feel happy with relationships this week with you guys, okay, Libra? And if they're not, you know, it's because you're failing to see the truth that sits there with it as well. Communication and awareness, okay? And I don't say that rudely. I say that to give you an opportunity to sit back and go, yeah, okay, well, if I'm honest, all right? So that's what I want to share with you guys with relationships this week. Now, work's actually feeling a little bit tedious around with you guys this week. I feel like some of you are actually making a decision to move forward, okay? You've got the completions energy that's there and the moving on energy that's there. But I want to say this is, yeah, okay, so for some of you, it will... I feel like this energy is more building for most of you rather than coming into fruition this week is what I'm trying to say. I'm quickly reminded that for some of you, yes, it is. But I do feel that for the majority of you, it's kind of around that decision-making process of taking you to that next step. And I want to say, you know, that it brings about that end of an era and that cycles energy that's there. So if you've kind of been looking for that validation or that extra kind of oomph to let you know that what you're feeling is correct, you know, have a little bit of food for thought around that, because as I said, you've got the sunset card, which which talks about, you know, moving on to that next side of things and remembering that in life there are beginnings and endings, and it is a natural order that's there. And then by doing so, as I said, you've got the moving on card. You've also got the security card, which talks about the fact that you are secure in life and your choices, but that it's time to clean out the stables and get rid of the shit and the stuff that no longer serves. Out with the old and in with the new. Okay, so you need to own your energy in your work, all right? Loyalty and service to others isn't necessarily going to take you to where you want to be. That loyalty and service needs to be to yourself first and foremost, okay? And yet, you know what, that's a little bit of a sad thing sometimes when you work that out and you've put up your ass into somebody else's dream, but been there, done that, and trust me, it's always better when you start throwing that energy back to yourself. And it doesn't even mean you got to walk away, but you just got to understand that your life purpose isn't to fulfill their dreams, okay? It's to fulfill your own, so don't forget about yourself in the process, all right? Don't expect other people to look after you in that process either. They're too busy chasing their dreams to worry about you. And unfortunately, you know, as I say it, that's just the harsh reality. Even when there is lots of love and goodwill and all of that kind of stuff that's there in between, you know, your life purpose is your own. Don't give that responsibility to somebody else. Even if you are happy in your job and everything else, all right? I'm not trying to throw negativity where negativity doesn't exist. I'm just trying to place the ownership that needs to be there, okay? So Libra, that's what I've got there. I just want to pull you some tarot. So your energy for the week, yes, it's 10 of Wands. And that's where I'm saying, you know, being weighed down a bit with problems and things like that around. And for some of you, that's that energy about confronting the fears and some of that impact it's starting to have on your life. And for others of you, as I said, it is very much what we're talking about with the energy of work that's there, you know. But just be mindful, as that 10 of Wands, you're choosing to hold it, okay? So it's time to, as I said, clear out the stables and start releasing what no longer serves. And guys, just think about that in a general context for the week as well, because it is the jet energy for the week. It's not specifically about work and relationships and things like that. Just be really mindful that you're, you know, just not overburdening yourselves and just acknowledging yourself and not being afraid to say no when you need to and all of that kind of stuff that's there, okay? Now you've got the Ace of Wands, and as I said, for some of you there is that beautiful energy of love coming in and strengthening around relationships, and I do feel the Ace of Wands is just wanting to validate and represent that, okay? But also new ideas, new creation, and for some of you that is with that work side of things, and absolutely it's going to apply to some of you with business, that little seed of growth that's just been kind of planted, you know. There's new ideas coming in. I feel that's where the majority of the energy is, where I want to throw, not necessarily into business itself, but that new creation of business that's there. It makes me kind of quite excited. So a few money fluctuations coming around, but as I said, we've spoken about work and things like that with you guys this week, but I'm also feeling just in a general overthrow that's there. It's not, I don't feel like it's a week where I've got to be like, oh, okay, this is what I've got and I've got to hold on to it so tight, but I don't feel like it's a week to go, oh yeah, you get to shit and just spend whatever, okay? Just a little bit of mindfulness, and don't miss opportunities that come in. I feel like there's an opportunity that's coming in. What I see it in my head is like you're handed $5 instead of $500, but then by taking the $5, what you do with that brings the $500 in. So don't miss opportunities around, and that's with work and business, and you know, just in general as well, because sometimes it's not necessarily a work or a specific business energy, but it's a financial energy that's there, okay? And that's what I'm showing. That's what I'm showing with that Four of Cups. You know, it's like that Four of Cups, as I said, is a $5 bill, and what you do with that $5 bill turns it into the $500 you originally wanted. So do not miss opportunities around you guys this week. So the Justice card sits there, and as I said, for some of you there's new ideas that are blooming, and for others of you there's a moving forward around with work and things like that. So for some of you as well, I'm also showing that that's to do with family legal matters, okay? And I'm seeing that there's a resolution that's coming around. So for those of you that is pertaining to, it feels like this journey has been in place for a long time, like as far as that sort of journey goes. And I feel like we've been around the trap holes a few times, and that we're waiting for this end result, okay? I feel like we're sitting onto an end, so I'm feeling a positive resolution around that as far as it goes. Ace of Pentacles, money coming, as a divine wish is being granted. And so this is, I want to throw that energy in very much so with the work and such that we're talking about, but definitely with that love and relationships. But I'm very strongly drawn to actually put that to the Justice card, okay? For those of you that have legal matters pertaining around, that closure and everything else like that is going to give you a beautiful opportunity to start moving forward. And I don't feel like you've been depleted through that process, okay? So I just wanted to share that as well. So Libra, that is what I have for you this week. I hope that you've enjoyed your time with me. Please show your appreciation by giving a thumbs up or a comment on the video. Always do do appreciate it. I will reply to all your comments. A subscription to the channel is always really lovely as well. So I do the daily reads, guys, and the live reads, as I said, on Friday evening. But until I see you, and when I see you, I look forward to seeing you. Have a beautiful week. Take care, and many blessings.